Good afternoon, YouTube. Jonathan here, also known as Lalawin, but that's only when I'm an elf on Wednesdays. Just wanted to give you a quick update on my situation. I've been working real hard, and sorry for the light, it's really bad, but anyway, you can see that I've got a new friend with me here. This is my kitten cat, Bunkums. No, anyways, basically I got some paintings in my office. I had a local artist come by and hang up some paintings, so here's one that I like a lot. Yay! Okay. Anyways, so I'm back from vacation, but I've been working a lot. I just wanted to do a quick review. Chapter 9 and Chapter 10. Chapter 9, Strangers in Carbajal. We are introduced to Dempton for the first time. Roran leaves with Dempton to be a miller, and Eragon is, of course, crying about that. Roran, don't leave me! So, what happens before they leave? Roran and Eragon are leaving, and Garrow has some money for Roran. And then he turns and says, "But Eragon, don't think that I've forgotten about you. I have words for both of you." I don't get that. Is he saying, Eragon, I have money stashed away for you too? Oh, and by the way, I'd like to say something to both of you? Or is he saying, Eragon, don't think I forgot about you. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell both of you some things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what an odd thing. It just didn't make sense to me at first, and I still, every time I think I overthink that statement. What do I like about what Garrow says to Eragon and Roran before they leave? I think that some of it is something that Eragon actually lives by later on in the series. As we'll see, he says things like, let no one rule your mind, give respect to those in a certain position, but think of them as your equal, no matter what their office is. Be careful with your money. I mean, there's things that Eragon does that he lives by. Whether or not he specifically remembers this speech, Garrow's words are important to him. What do I think about that? I think it's telling of where Christopher Paolini himself was in this stage in life. Did he maybe interview his father for some sagely wisdom and some advice and then put it into fantasy novel terms? I don't know. But I like to think that that specific statement that Garrow says to Eragon is telling of where Paolini is in his life. It's connected somehow, I believe. The strangers that we come to see are, we will later know as the Razak or Razak or Razak or whatever. The people that have a weird frickin' name. So apparently they were able to convey with their minds incredible fear on Eragon. He froze in place. Interestingly enough, Brom comes to the rescue. Brom yells, Eragon, Eragon, and the guys leave. Now, what we'll learn later on in the series is that Brom and the Razak have history, okay? So, what do I think about that? I think the Razak knew his voice. I think they remembered his voice, and that's why they stopped. I think they thought to themselves, oh, we know that guy. I also believe this, that Brom, because we'll later learn that riders are able, with their minds, are able to search certain areas and see all the different life forces, in the area. They're able to feel the presence of things. I think that Brom was not in the dark. I think that he knew Eragon was in the city, or in the town. I think that he knew the Razak had come because he had felt their presence before. I think that he was very much aware of what was going on. He's a wise guy, so I figure he keeps himself aware of his surroundings. Also, on that note, I wanted to mention something about the end. In the very end of that chapter, he shakes Eragon's hand, and somehow the mitt comes off, right? Obviously, he pulls it off, you know. He snags it, pulls the mitt off of his right hand, and then, oh, sorry, oops, my bad. He picks it up and gives it back, but twists Eragon's right hand, and so the Gedwe Ignacia, or the silvery palm, is visible now to Brom. And then he walks away. So he's walking away whistling a merry tune, and I think that he knew what to expect. I think that Brom surveyed the land and the valley with his brain, with his mind, and that power that riders have to kind of feel the life forms in the area. I think, personally, that he did that, and that he felt the presence of a dragon, something that he hadn't felt in hundreds of years, maybe, or a long time at least, and he had felt that presence, and that's why he knew what to expect with Eragon. He put two and two together. This kid came and asked me a bunch about dragons. I now feel the presence of a dragon. Bam. Then we have Chapter 10, Flight of Destiny. Eragon tells Sapharia about the strangers in Carvajal. Okay, we know now that they're pretty connected. He goes back, he sees Garrow talking or taking care of the horses. He wasn't talking to anyone. He was talking to himself. Garrow was talking to himself. Hi, self. Hi. My name is Garrow. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm taking care of horses. What a coincidence. No, he wasn't talking to himself. So, he's taking care of the horses, and Eragon decides, well, before I say anything to him, I'm going to go talk to Sapharia. Obviously, they were close. It's interesting because Eragon grew up his whole entire life with Garrow, and now the first person he wants to talk to is Sapharia. So there's definitely a connection. Mentally, that link between them has grown a very strong emotional bond. So he goes and tells Sapharia, and Sapharia's reaction is very telling. She freaks out and says in her anger that Razak are murderers and egg breakers. Theory. Okay, what if the Razak, which later we learn in the series that they grow up and they mature into what's known as the Leatherblaca, okay, which are dragon-like, but they're not dragons. What if they actually feed on dragon eggs? We know that they have long, hard beaks, okay? And I'm thinking, well, they probably use them to break into the dragon eggs. That's why she calls them egg breakers and murderers, because these Leatherblaca were set free by Galbatorix to go and to break all the dragon eggs and to actually consume them. That must be their favorite food. Okay, now if this is actually in the book, don't freak out at me because I don't remember it being in the book. So I'm just saying, is it possible that they could be dragon egg eaters? They like eggs. I personally hate eggs. They like eggs. And they're, the eggs are harder than a diamond, but maybe with that beak, we never know. Anyways, so I wonder if these are predatory animals who feed on the eggs of dragons. If they are, in fact, the only animal that could be a formidable opponent for a dragon, but definitely a predator of dragon eggs. So after she freaks out, Eragon hops onto her back and rides Sapharia for the very first time. Two things here. Number one, ouch. All the skin on his inner thighs is gone. Holy cow, that is incredibly painful. I can't even imagine it. It's a good thing it's just a fantasy novel. Second thing, although Sapharia is ancient, okay, she didn't hatch for a long time, she is still young, right? So she has wisdom of the ages, but she's still immature. How is that shown? It's shown because it says that Eragon is pleading with her, please, the strangers are on their way to Garrow's farm. We need to go to Garrow's farm. We need to make sure that he's safe. And she will not listen to reason. She will not listen to him and not respond to him. So it's very telling of where she is in her maturity level because, yeah, she's a big dragon. She can do all this stuff. And she has ancient wisdom, but common sense, it's just not there. The maturity is just not there. She overreacts, and she is not open to reason. Anyways, thank you guys for your comments and support so far. Look forward to it again tomorrow. Thank you.